Wednesday morning arrived wrapped in unease. Eleanor woke with her heart already racing. That instinctive animal sense that something was wrong. She stared at the ceiling of her dorm room, trying to shake the feeling, but it clung to her like sweat. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Mom. She almost didn't answer. What could she say? Hey mama. I'm being protected by a Mafia heir because I witnessed a shooting and his rival gang wants to use me as leverage. How's your week? But guilt won. She answered. Baby. Finally. I was starting to think you forgot about your poor mother. The sound of her voice, warm, familiar, home, made Eleanor's throat tight. Never, mama. Just been busy with classes. Too busy to call your mama? But there was no real accusation. Just love wrapped in teasing. How's soul? How's school? Are you eating enough? You know how you get when you're studying? Forget to eat. Forget to sleep. I'm eating. I promise. The lie tasted bitter. And the scholarship? Everything going okay with that? It's perfect, mama. The school is amazing. The teachers are brilliant. I'm learning so much. She could hear her mother's smile through the phone. I'm so proud of you, baby. You know that, right? I tell everyone at church. Everyone at work. My baby girl studying in Korea. Living the dream we built together. Living the dream. Eleanor's eyes burned. If her mother knew the truth, the violence, the kidnapping attempts, the Mafia world she'd stumbled into, it would destroy her. Mama, the words caught. I'm scared. I'm in over my head. I want to come home. Baby? You okay? She swallowed hard. Yeah. I love you. So much. I love you more than the whole world. Eleanor Grace Diggs. Don't you ever forget that. No matter what happens, no matter how far you go, you're my baby girl. My greatest achievement. The words broke something inside her. Tears streamed down her face. Silent. I have to get to class, mama. Okay, baby. But you call me this weekend, you hear? Proper call. I want to hear everything. I will. I promise. And Eleonora? Remember why you're there. Remember what you worked for. Don't let anything distract you from your dreams. Too late. I won't. Bye, mama. Bye, baby. Love you. The call ended. Eleonora sat there holding her phone, tears falling freely now. She didn't know it yet, but that would be the last normal conversation she'd have with her mother for a very long time. By afternoon, the unease had grown teeth. Advanced literature felt wrong. The classroom too quiet. Students kept glancing at her like they knew something she didn't. Mrs. Kang's lecture on Korean poetry washed over her. Meaningless. Mchu's seat remained empty. 2 weeks now since the parking lot. 2 weeks since she'd seen the real him. The obsessed, unhinged version hiding behind the gentle mask. She wondered briefly where he was. If he was okay. Then felt stupid for wondering. After what he'd done. Grabbing her. Trapping her. Leaving bruises on her wrists. She owed him nothing. Not even concern. Her phone buzzed under her desk. Taeho, something feels off today. Be extra careful. Eleonora, your guards are everywhere. I'm fine. Taeho, I'm serious. Don't go anywhere alone. Check in every hour. Eleonora, you're being paranoid. Taeho, I'm being cautious. There's a difference. Humor me? She smiled despite her anxiety. Eleonora, fine. I'll check in every hour. Taeho, good. And Eleonora? Yeah, I miss you. Her heart did something complicated. They'd only kissed 3 days ago. Sunday night on that rooftop, soul glittering below them, but it felt like years. Like before and after. Like everything had changed in that moment. Eleonora, I miss you too. The bell rang, sharp and final. Class dismissed. Students flooded the hallways. Eleonora gathered her books slowly, checking her schedule. Next up, library time. She had a calculus problem set due tomorrow and needed quiet to focus. She stepped into the hallway, and that's when she noticed. One of Taeho's guards, the one who usually positioned himself near the library entrance, wasn't there. Her steps slowed. Maybe he'd moved positions? Maybe there was a shift change? But the unease from this morning roared back, louder. She pulled out her phone to text Taeho. And that's when the cloth covered her mouth. It happened so fast. Arm around her waist, chemical-soaked fabric pressed to her nose and mouth. Her scream muffled before it could escape. She struggled, thrashing, her books scattering across the floor. Students turned, shocked, frozen. Help! She tried to scream, but the word came out garbled wrong. The chemical smell overwhelmed everything. Sweet, sickly, pulling her down into darkness. No, no, please. Taeho. Her legs gave out. Strong arms caught her. The last thing she saw before everything went black was a black van, doors open, waiting like a mouth. Then nothing. Her phone, fallen on the hallway floor beside her scattered books, lit up with a message. Taeho, Eleonora? Check-in time. Everything okay? The message went unread. Students stood frozen, unsure what they'd witnessed. By the time anyone thought to call for help, the van was already gone, disappearing into Seoul's afternoon traffic. In his office across the city, Taeho stared at his phone. 4 p.m. Check-in time. No response. He told himself she was just busy, just forgot. Just, for 15 p.m. Still nothing. His hands started shaking. 4:30 p.m. He called. It went straight to voicemail. Eleonora, call me. Now. He called his head guard. Where is she? Library, boss. Should be studying. Go check. Now. 3 minutes later, his guard called back. Voice tight, scared. Boss, she's not here. Her books are scattered in the hallway. Students say they saw men take her. Black van. Unknown plates. The world stopped. Taeho's phone slipped from his hand, clattering on his desk. Then the rage came, hot, blinding, all-consuming. He swept everything off his desk with a roar. Papers flew. Glass shattered. Find her. His voice echoed through the building. I want every man on the street. Every camera checked. Every contact called. Find her. Now. His men scattered, mobilizing. But Taeho stood alone in his destroyed office, hands shaking, world crumbling. He'd promised to keep her safe. He'd failed. And whoever took her was going to learn exactly what happened when you touched what belonged to Lee Taeho. He was going to paint Seoul red. Seoul lovers, before we continue, I need to know, where are you watching from? What time is it where you are right now? Drop your location and time in the comments. I love seeing how far this story reaches across the world. And if you haven't watched episode 1 and episode 2 yet, stop right here. You need to see how we got to this moment. Check out the links in the description box below. Watch them first, then come back. Trust me, you'll want the full story. This is where everything we've been building toward explodes into chaos. Ready? Let's continue. Cold. That was the first thing Eleonora registered. Cold seeping into her bones. Concrete beneath her. Air that tasted like rust and oil. Her eyes opened slowly, the world swimming into blurry focus. Gray walls, exposed pipes, a single bulb swinging overhead, casting shadows that danced like demons. Where? Memory crashed back. The hallway, the cloth over her mouth, chemical sweetness dragging her under. Panic seized her throat. She tried to move, couldn't. Her hands were bound behind her, zip ties cutting into her wrists, her ankles tied to chair legs. She pulled, thrashed, the chair scraping against concrete but going nowhere. Help! Her voice cracked, hoarse. Help! Footsteps, heavy boots on concrete. 2 men emerged from shadows. Jade Serpent gang members, she realized with sinking dread. Tattoos crawling up their necks, eyes flat and cold as river stones. She's awake, one said in Korean. Finally. Took long enough. Where am I? Eleonora demanded, forcing strength into her voice. Let me go. Now. The men laughed. Let you go? We just got you here, princess. Do you know who I am? Do you know who'll come looking for me? Oh, we know. The taller one crouched in front of her. Smile cruel. Lee Taeho's little pet. That's exactly why you're here. Her stomach dropped. He'll kill you, she whispered. All of you. When he finds out. When he finds out, he'll do exactly what we want. Trade his empire for your pretty face. The man stood, losing interest. So sit tight, princess. You're bait now. They walked away, leaving her alone in the vast, empty warehouse. Eleonora pulled at her restraints until her wrists burned, until tears streamed down her face, until exhaustion forced her to stop. How long had she been unconscious? Hours? The light coming through grimy windows suggested late afternoon. Her phone gone. Her bag gone. No way to contact anyone. Taeho knows by now. He has to know. But what if he didn't? What if everyone thought she'd just left? Run away from the danger, gone back to America? No, she said aloud, needing to hear her own voice. He knows. He'll come. She had to believe that. Time crawled. Minutes felt like hours. The warehouse was silent except for distant traffic. Muffled voices from another room. Then footsteps. Different from before. Lighter. Hesitant. The door opened. Eleonora looked up, hope flaring. Rescue? Then died cold. Mchu stood in the doorway. For a moment, she couldn't process it. Couldn't make sense of his familiar face in this nightmare place. Mchu. Her voice was small, confused. Oh, thank God. These men, they kidnapped me. You have to. He stepped into the light fully, and she saw his eyes. Calm. Purposeful. Not shocked or scared or ready to help. Understanding crashed over her like ice water. No. The word came out broken. No, you're with them? He didn't answer, just moved closer. Each step deliberate. Mchu, please tell me you're here to help me. Please tell me you didn't. I'm sorry it had to be this way. His voice was soft, almost gentle. The same tone he'd used that first day when they bumped into each other. But you left me no choice. No choice. She couldn't breathe. You kidnapped me. I saved you. His voice rose, cracked. From him. From that world. From making the worst mistake of your life. By tying me to a chair? Because you wouldn't listen. He was in front of her now, crouching to eye level. I tried talking to you. Tried explaining. Tried being patient. But you kept choosing wrong. Kept choosing him. Mchu, this is insane. Why? The question exploded out of him, raw and desperate. Why him, Eleonora? Why? She stared at him, seeing a stranger wearing a familiar face. I was there first. I helped you on your first day. I was kind to you, gentle with you, safe for you. His hands clenched into fists. And you threw it all away for a criminal. For a man who kills people. Mchu, please. I loved you from the moment I saw your photo. Tears streamed down his face now. Before you even got here, I loved you. I planned everything perfectly. Made sure I'd be the first person you'd meet. The first person you'd trust. You were supposed to be mine. You can't own people. I saw you kiss him. His voice dropped to something broken. On that rooftop, Sunday night, I watched you put your hands in his hair. Watched you choose him. Do you have any idea what that did to me? Eleonora's own tears fell. Mchu, I'm so sorry you're hurting. But this, don't. He stood abruptly. Don't do that. Don't give me pity like I'm some pathetic thing. That's not what You don't love him. He spun back to her, wild-eyed. You can't. He's manipulated you. Made you dependent on him. That's not love, Eleonora. That's captivity. And what's this? She pulled at her restraints. What do you call this? Protection. Salvation. Saving you from yourself. He grabbed her face, forcing her to look at him. I'm the one who really loves you. Me. Not him. Love doesn't hurt people, Mchu. My mother loved me. His voice cracked completely. She told me every day, I love you, Mchu. You're my special boy. And then one morning I woke up and she was gone. Just gone. No note. No goodbye. Just empty drawers and my father's cold silence. Mchu. She left me. He shook her slightly, not rough but desperate. And I spent years trying to understand why. What I did wrong. How I failed. And I realized I didn't control enough. Didn't make myself indispensable. Didn't make sure she couldn't leave. Eleonora's blood ran cold. That's why you manipulated our meeting. I learned from my mistakes. His hands were still on her face. Too close. Too intense. I made sure I'd be essential to you. Made sure you'd need me. Trust me. Choose me. But I didn't choose you. Because of him. Rage flashed across his features. He poisoned you against me. Made you see me as the enemy when I'm the only one trying to save you. Mchu, listen to yourself. You sound I sound like someone who loves you. He released her face, pacing now. You said you understand. You said you hear me, but you don't. You don't understand at all. Then help me understand. Untie me. Let me go. Let's talk about this properly. So you can run? He laughed, sharp and bitter. Run straight back to him? No. No more running. No more choosing wrong. He moved to the door, hand on the handle. Mchu, please. He paused, looked back. For just a moment, she saw the boy from that first day, gentle, warm, kind. Then the moment passed. All you have to do is choose me, Eleonora. Tell him it's over. Stay with me. Love me the way I love you. His eyes burned into hers. And all of this goes away. We can be happy together. Like we were supposed to be from the start. I can't. You can. You just won't. His voice went cold. Because you'd rather choose a monster who'll destroy you than the man who'd die for you. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. He slammed his hand against the doorframe. I did everything right. I was patient, kind, gentle. And you still chose violence over love. Taeho isn't. Don't say his name. Minchu's voice was deadly quiet now. Don't you dare say his name in front of me. Silence stretched between them, heavy with everything broken and bleeding. If you loved me, Mchu said finally, voice small and wounded, you wouldn't leave me, like she did, like everyone does. Mchu, think about what I said. I'll be back tomorrow with food, with water, with everything you need. He opened the door. All you have to do is choose me. It's that simple. It's not simple. It is. He looked at her one last time. Choose me and live happy. Choose him and watch your world burn. Those are your options. The door closed behind him. The lock clicked. And Eleonora was alone in the dark with the terrible understanding that the gentle boy had always been a lie. That beneath the soft smiles and warm eyes lived something twisted and broken and utterly beyond reason. She dropped her head and cried, for herself, for her mother, for the simple dream of studying abroad that had somehow led to this nightmare. I just wanted to study, she whispered to the empty warehouse. I just wanted a future. But in Minchu's broken mind, she was the future. His future. And he'd burn the whole world down before letting anyone take that from him. Day 1, Wednesday night. Darkness swallowed the warehouse whole. The single bulb had been turned off hours ago, leaving Eleonora in blackness so complete she couldn't see her own hands. The zip ties had long since cut circulation, her wrists numb and burning at the same time. She'd stopped crying an hour ago, ran out of tears. Now she just sat in the dark, replaying her mother's voice from this morning. You're living the dream we built together. Some dream. Tied to a chair in a warehouse, kidnapped by a boy she tried to be kind to, caught in a war between criminals she never asked to meet. Her stomach cramped with hunger. When was the last time she'd eaten? Lunch? That felt like years ago. How long until Taeho finds me? He had to be looking. She knew him well enough now to know he'd tear Seoul apart brick by brick. But Seoul was massive. The warehouse district alone had hundreds of buildings. What if he didn't find her in time? What if Mchu did something crazy before then? Her mind spun through terrible possibilities until exhaustion finally dragged her under. Sleep came in fits, nightmares of her mother's face when she learned the truth, of Minchu's broken eyes, of Taeho's body lying in blood. She woke gasping, disoriented, unsure if minutes or hours had passed. Still dark, still alone, still trapped. Mama, she whispered into the emptiness. I'm so sorry. Meanwhile, Wednesday night, Taeho's office looked like a war zone. Shattered glass crunched under his feet. Overturned furniture. His knuckles split and bleeding from punching walls. He hadn't slept. Couldn't. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Eleonora's face. Scared. Alone. Calling for him. Status. His voice was raw from screaming orders. His second in command, J1, stood in the doorway. Every available man is searching. We've checked 43 warehouses. Nothing yet. Check faster. Boss, we're doing everything. It's not enough. Taeho swept more papers off his desk. She's out there, scared, alone, and I promised to keep her safe. I promised. Jae-won had worked for the Lee family for 15 years. He'd seen Tae-ho cold, calculating, ruthlessly efficient. He'd never seen him like this, unraveling, desperate, human. "We'll find her," Jae-won said quietly. "We'd better. Because if they hurt her, if they touch one hair on her head..." Tae-ho's voice broke. "I'll burn this entire city to the ground." His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered immediately. "Do you have her?" Silence. Then breathing. "Hello, Tae-ho." Mchu's voice, calm and cold. Tae-ho's entire body went rigid. "You. She's safe. For now. Comfortable even. If you hurt her..." "I'd never hurt her. I love her." Mchu laughed softly. "Unlike you, who dragged her into your violent world. Who made her a target. This is your fault. Where is she? Somewhere you'll never find. Not until it's too late." The line went dead. Tae-ho stared at his phone, rage and fear warring in his chest. Then he made another call to his father. "I need to talk to you. Now." Day 2 Thursday. Morning light filtered through the grimy windows. Eleonora had never been so grateful to see daylight. The door opened. Mchu entered carrying a tray, bibimbap, water, even napkins arranged carefully. "Good morning." His voice was gentle again. The monster from yesterday hidden behind the familiar mask. "I brought breakfast. Your favorite, right?" "I remembered from the cafeteria." Eleonora said nothing, just stared at him. "You must be hungry." He set the tray on a crate, pulling it close. "I can untie one hand so you can eat." "I don't want anything from you." "Eleonora, you haven't eaten since yesterday morning. You need to eat." "I need to go home." "This can be your home." He crouched in front of her, eyes earnest. "Once you see, once you understand, we can be happy here. Together." "You kidnapped me and you're talking about being happy?" "I'm protecting you." "You're insane." The words exploded out. "You're completely, utterly insane and you don't even see it." Something flickered across his face. Hurt, then anger, then forced calm. "You're upset. That's understandable. This is all new, all overwhelming." He stood, smoothing his shirt. "But you'll adjust. People adapt. You'll see this was all for the best." "For the best? You kidnapped me. I saved you." The mask cracked. "From him. From a life of looking over your shoulder. From becoming just another casualty in his world. At least in his world I had choices. You had the illusion of choice." He was pacing now, agitated. "He made you dependent on him. Made you think you needed his protection. That's not love. That's manipulation. And what's this? What do you call tying me to a chair and telling me I'll adjust?" He stopped pacing. Looked at her. Really looked. "This is me fighting for what's mine. I'm not yours. I never was. You were from the moment I saw your photo." His voice dropped to something almost reverent. "I knew then. You were meant for me. Sent to save me from myself." "I can't save you, Mchu. Nobody can save you from you." The words hung between them. Finally, he moved to the door. "Eat, please. I'll be back tonight." "Mchu. Just eat, Eleonora. Keep your strength up. You'll need it." The door closed. Locked. She stared at the bibimbap, stomach growling despite everything. She wanted to refuse out of principle. But starving herself wouldn't help. With shaking hands, still bound, she couldn't reach the food properly. She tried to eat. Gave up after a few bites. Tears came again. She let them fall. "I just wanted to study." Tae-ho and his father, Lee Jin-woo, sat behind his massive desk, fingers steepled, watching his son with calculating eyes. "You're losing control. I'm trying to find her. You're running around like a madman, exhausting resources, making yourself vulnerable." Jin-woo's voice was cold. "This is exactly why we don't form attachments. They become weaknesses." "She's not a weakness. She's..." Tae-ho stopped. "She's what?" His father leaned forward. "Tell me, what is this girl to you?" "Everything." The word came out raw. "She's everything." Jin-woo was silent for a long moment. "I raised you to be strong, to be ruthless, to put the family above all else." "I know. And now you're willing to risk it all for one girl?" "Yes." No hesitation. Even if it costs you your position, your territory, your legacy. Even then, Taeho met his father's eyes. I love her. More than power. More than empire. More than anything you taught me to value. Something shifted in Jinwoo's expression. Not quite approval, but understanding maybe. Your mother, he said quietly. She was like that for me once. I chose the empire. Chose power. He looked away. I regretted it every day after. Taeho had never heard his father speak of his mother. She died when he was 5. So if you're asking for my blessing, Jinwoo continued, you don't have it. But if you're asking for my help, he picked up his phone. I'll mobilize every resource we have. We'll find her. Relief crashed over Taeho. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just get her back. And when you do, Jinwoo's eyes hardened. Whoever took her dies slowly. Make them an example. Already planning on it. Day 2 Thursday night. Mchu stood outside Taeho's building, gathering courage. She'd heard about the kidnapping. Everyone had. The Lee organization was mobilizing like never before. And it was her fault. She'd introduced Mchu to the Jade Serpents. She'd planted the idea. She'd helped plan the timing. She'd thought it would work. Thought she'd get Taeho back. Thought Mchu would get Eleonora. Thought everyone would be happy. She'd been stupid. Now a girl was missing and Taeho was unraveling and she'd helped cause all of it. She walked inside, took the elevator up. Guard stopped her. I need to see him. Boss said no visitors. Please. It's about Eleonora. That got their attention. They called up. Moments later, approval came. Taeho's office was destroyed. He stood in the center of chaos, looking like he hadn't slept in days. You have 30 seconds, he said without turning. Talk. I'm sorry. Her voice shook. I'm so sorry. For what? Be specific. For introducing Mchu to them. For helping plan this. For being jealous and stupid and... He turned then, and the look in his eyes made her step back. You knew. His voice was deadly quiet. You knew they were going to take her? I thought it would just be for a few hours. I thought they'd use her to negotiate, get what they wanted, let her go. You thought wrong. He crossed the distance between them in 2 steps. Because of you, she's terrified. Alone. With a psychopath who thinks he owns her. I didn't mean. Get out. He grabbed her arm, dragged her to the door. Get out of my sight before I do something we'll both regret. Taeho, please, I can help. You've helped enough. He shoved her into the hallway. If she dies because of you, because of your petty jealousy, I'll make sure you wish you'd never been born. He slammed the door. Mchu stood there, tears streaming, realizing she destroyed any chance she ever had. Not just with Taeho, but with her own conscience. She'd helped kidnap an innocent girl. And there was no coming back from that. Day 3 Friday. Eleonora had lost track of time. Day 3, 4? The warehouse had no clocks. Just the sun moving across grimy windows, marking hours in shifting light. Mchu visited 3 times a day now. Morning, afternoon, evening. Bringing food, water, trying to make conversation like this was normal. Like they were dating. Like she wasn't his prisoner. I was thinking, he said Friday afternoon, sitting cross-legged in front of her. When this is all over, where would you want to live? Seoul? Or maybe somewhere quieter? I've always liked Jeju Island. She didn't answer. Hadn't spoken to him since yesterday. You can't ignore me forever, Eleonora. Silence. I'm trying to plan our future, our life together. The least you could do is participate in the conversation. More silence. His jaw clenched. Fine. Be stubborn. But you'll come around. They always do eventually. That made her look at him. They? Who's they? He realized his mistake too late. Nobody. Forget I said anything. You've done this before. Horror crept into her voice. The girl from middle school. The one who got a restraining order. You did this to her too. That was different. How? How was it different? She wasn't you. He stood abruptly. She wasn't special. Wasn't meant for me. But you? You're different. You're the one. I'm the one you're terrorizing. I'm the one loving you. His voice cracked. Why can't you see that? Because this isn't love. They stared at each other, the truth finally naked between them. You'll never choose me, will you? His voice went flat. No matter what I do, no matter how long I wait, you'll always want him. She said nothing. The answer was written all over her face. Mchu's expression hardened into something cold and terrible. Then I guess we're doing this the hard way. He walked out. This time, when the door locked, it sounded like a death sentence. Saturday morning, day 4. Taeho hadn't slept in 3 days. His eyes burned. His body screamed for rest. But every time he tried to close his eyes, he saw her face, heard her voice, felt her absence like a physical wound. 72 warehouses searched. Hundreds of people questioned. Entire districts combed through. Nothing. She'd vanished like smoke. His phone sat on the desk in front of him, silent and accusing. She always texted him. 3 times a day, like clockwork. Little updates about classes, about food, about nothing and everything. Now silence. He picked up the phone, scrolling through their old messages. Eleonora, made it to lit class. Still breathing. Eleonora, that calculus problem set is trying to murder me. Eleonora, your guards are watching me eat lunch. It's weird. Tell them to be less obvious. Eleonora, good night. Thank you for keeping me safe. His thumb hovered over the last message. From Tuesday night, before everything went to hell. Eleonora, I miss you too. Boss. J1 stood in the doorway holding a phone. Call came in. Unknown number. They asked for you specifically. Taeho's heart stopped. Put it through. The phone on his desk rang. He answered on the first ring. Speak. Lee Taeho. The voice was unfamiliar, older, rough like gravel. I believe I have something of yours. Every muscle in Taeho's body tensed. Who is this? Kang Dae-young. Jade Serpents. Though I suspect you already guessed that. Taeho's hand clenched around the phone so hard it cracked. If you've hurt her, she's alive, unharmed. For now. Dae-young's voice was calm, almost bored. But that's entirely up to you. What do you want? What do I want? Dae-young laughed. Everything. Your eastern territories. Your shipping routes. Your gambling operations. Your father's political connections. All of it. Sign it over and the girl lives. Taeho's mind raced. That's my family's empire. And she's your heart. Seems like a fair trade. How do I know she's alive? How do I know you actually have her? Hold on. Rustling sounds. Then video call incoming. Taeho accepted with shaking hands. The screen filled with Eleonora's face. She was pale, exhausted. Her curls tangled, dark circles under her eyes. Still bound to that chair. Still in that warehouse. But alive. Breathing. Real. Eleonora. He breathed. Her eyes found the camera, widened. Taeho. The camera jerked away. Satisfied. Dae-young's voice. Now. The empire or the girl. You have 24 hours to decide. Wait. 24 hours, Lee. Then I start sending pieces of her back to you. The line went dead. Taeho stared at the blank screen, at the frozen image of Eleonora's face before the call ended. She looked terrified, exhausted, but alive. Still alive. He'd seen her. That was something. That was everything. Boss. J1 ventured carefully. What do we do? Get my father. Now. 10 minutes later, Lee Jin-woo entered the office. They made contact, Taeho said without preamble. They want everything. Full surrender of our territories. Jin-woo's expression didn't change. And if you refuse? They kill her. Silence stretched between father and son. So, Jin-woo said finally, the choice is made. I haven't decided yet. Haven't you? Jin-woo moved to the window, looking out over the city his family controlled. 3 generations built this empire. Your grandfather started with nothing. Your uncles died defending it. I sacrificed everything for it. He turned. And you're willing to throw it away for one girl? Yes. No hesitation. Jin-woo studied his son for a long moment. You love her that much. I love her more than breath, more than power, more than legacy. Taeho's voice cracked. She walked into my world and made me remember what it feels like to be human. To want something beyond territory and violence and control. And if I forbid it? If I order you to refuse their terms? Then I'll disobey you. For the first time in my life, I'll choose myself over the family. Jinwoo was quiet, something working behind his eyes. Your mother, he said finally. When she was pregnant with you, our rivals tried to use her as leverage. Demanded I surrender territory or they'd kill her. Taeho had never heard this story. I refused. Jinwoo continued, voice hollow. I thought I was being strong. Thought I could rescue her, protect the empire, have it all. I was wrong. His jaw tightened. They killed her anyway. Killed her and the son she carried, your younger brother. Left only you. Shock rippled through Taeho. I've lived with that choice every day since. Told myself it was necessary. That the empire mattered more than one woman. Jinwoo's eyes were distant. Haunted. I was lying to myself. The truth is I chose wrong. And I've regretted it every moment of every day for 20 years. He moved to his son, placed a hand on his shoulder. Don't make my mistake. Don't let pride destroy what matters. His voice was firm. Save her. We'll rebuild the territories. Reclaim what's lost. But you, he squeezed Taeho's shoulder. You save the girl. That's an order. Relief and gratitude crashed over Taeho. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just get her back alive. Jinwoo headed for the door, paused. And when she's safe, we destroy them all. Slowly. Make them regret the day they touched our family. The door closed. Taeho sat alone, mind spinning with strategies, plans, contingencies. He pulled up the frozen image of Eleonora from the video call. Zoomed in on her face. I'm coming, he whispered to the screen. Hold on just a little longer. At the warehouse, Eleonora stared at the door Mchu had just exited, his words echoing. Then I guess we're doing this the hard way. What did that mean? What was the hard way? She didn't want to know, didn't want to imagine. Hours passed. The afternoon light faded to evening. No food came, no water. Mchu didn't return. She was completely alone. Her mind drifted to her mother. What was she doing right now? Probably at work, cleaning houses, telling coworkers about her brilliant daughter studying in Korea. If she knew the truth. No, Eleonora couldn't think about that. Couldn't imagine her mother's face when she found out. If she found out. When I get out of here. When, not if. She had to believe that. Had to believe Taeho was coming. The door opened. Not Mchu this time, Kang Dae-young. Flanked by 2 guards. Good news, princess. Your boyfriend saw the video. What video? The one proving you're alive. Dae-young smiled. He looked devastated. Almost felt bad for him. Let me go. Please. I have nothing to do with this. You have everything to do with this. You're the reason Lee Taeho is about to surrender his entire empire. Dae-young crouched in front of her. Must be nice. Being loved that much. Having someone willing to sacrifice everything for you. He won't give you what you want. He will. Because the alternative is watching you die piece by piece. Dae-young stood. 24 hours. Then we'll see exactly how much he loves you. He left. Eleonora sat in the gathering darkness. Tears streaming freely now. Taeho was going to give up everything for her. His empire. His legacy. His family's blood and sacrifice. Because of her. No, she whispered. Don't do it. Please don't. But she knew he would. Knew him well enough to know he'd burn his entire world if it meant keeping her alive. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I walked into your life and destroyed everything. Sunday morning, day 5. The warehouse door crashed open at dawn. Mchu stormed in, wild-eyed, manic energy radiating off him. They're making the exchange today, he said without preamble. Taeho agreed to their terms. All of it. His territories, his operations, everything. He laughed, sharp and broken. He's giving up his empire for you. Eleonora's heart sank. No. Even now. Even after everything. You're still choosing him. Mchu grabbed her face, forcing her to look at him. What does he have that I don't? What makes him worth destroying everything for? Mchu, please. I could have given you everything. A normal life. Safety. Love. His hands shook against her face. But you'd rather have danger. Rather have violence. Rather have him. Let me go. No. He released her face, pacing frantically. No more chances. No more waiting. You made your choice. You chose wrong. Mchu, what are you going to do? He stopped pacing, looked at her, and she saw it, the final thread of sanity snapping. If he comes for you, if he tries to take you back. Mchu pulled a gun from his waistband. I'll make sure neither of you leaves alive. Her blood turned to ice. You'd kill me? I'd free you. His voice was eerily calm now. Free you from him. From this world. From the mistake you're making. He came close, pressed the gun to her temple. And if I can't have you, if you can't love me the way you should, then no one gets you. Not him. Not anyone. The cold metal against her skin made her shake uncontrollably. Mchu, please. I know you don't want to do this. I know the real you is still in there. The real me. He laughed. The real me died when my mother left. When my father stopped looking at me. When you chose a criminal over someone who actually loved you. He pulled the gun away. There is no real me. There's just what's left. And what's left wants you or wants you dead. Those are the only options. He walked to the door. They're making the exchange at sunset. Old shipyard. Taeho's coming for you. Mchu looked back one last time. And when he does, we'll see if love is really worth dying for. The door slammed. Locked. Eleonora sat in the gathering light. The cold ghost of the gun still pressed against her temple. Tonight. Everything ended tonight. Either she'd be free, or she'd be dead. And Mchu. The boy she tried to be kind to. The boy who'd worn gentleness like a mask. He'd become the thing she feared most. Not because he hated her, but because he loved her too much. And that kind of love only ended one way. In blood. Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Taeho stood alone in his father's study, staring at the city below. Sunset was in 3 hours. 3 hours until the exchange. 3 hours to decide between his empire and her life. Except there was no decision. Not really. He'd known the answer the moment he saw her face on that video call. The door opened. His father entered, closing it behind him. The men are ready, Jinwoo said. Weapons loaded. Positions planned. They're waiting for your order. I'm going to give them what they want. Taeho's voice was hollow. All of it. The territories. The operations. Everything. And then I get her back. He turned to face his father. And after that, we rebuild. Slowly. Carefully. Take back what's ours piece by piece. Jinwoo moved to the window, standing beside his son. You're willing to start from nothing? If that's what it takes. They won't just let you rebuild. They'll come for you. For her. For everyone you love. Let them try. Taeho's voice went cold. I'll be ready. Silence stretched between them. Your mother would be proud, Jinwoo said quietly. Of the man you've become. Of the choice you're making. Would she? She always said power without humanity is just cruelty with a crown. Jinwoo's hand settled on Taeho's shoulder. You're choosing humanity. That takes more strength than holding on to power ever could. Taeho's throat tightened. Go get your girl, Jinwoo said firmly. We'll handle the rest. At the warehouse, the guards came for Eleonora as the sun began its descent. Time to go, princess. Her legs barely held her when they cut the zip ties. For days bound to that chair had left her weak, disoriented. They hauled her upright, dragging her to a waiting van. Where are we going? No answer. Just rough hands shoving her into darkness. The van's engine roared to life. Through the blacked-out windows, she caught glimpses of Seoul passing by. The city she dreamed of studying in, now the backdrop to her nightmare. Mama, I'm so sorry. Her mother's face swam in her vision. What was she doing right now? Sunday afternoon in America. Probably at church, praying for her daughter's success. If she knew the truth. Eleonora's eyes burned but no tears came. She'd cried herself dry over 4 days. The van stopped. Doors opened. Salt air hit her face. The ocean. They pulled her out into fading daylight. An old shipyard sprawled before her. Rusted cranes reaching toward the sky like metal skeletons. Abandoned shipping containers creating a maze of shadows. And there, in the center of it all, Kang Dae-young waited. Welcome to the final act, he said, smiling cold. This is where it all ends. Please, Eleanor's voice cracked. Please just let me go. I won't tell anyone. I'll disappear. You'll never see me again. Oh, we're letting you go. Tae-young gestured to his men. After we get what we want. After Lee Tae-ho signs over his empire. Then you're free. And if he doesn't? Tae-young's smile widened. Then you become a lesson. About what happens when people don't cooperate. They dragged her to the center pier, wooden planks creaking beneath her feet, positioned her where she'd be visible from the main entrance. Bait. She was human bait. Around her, Jade Serpent members took positions behind containers on top of cranes in shadows. At least 20 men, all armed, all waiting. This wasn't an exchange. This was a trap. Tae-ho! Don't come, she whispered into the wind. Please don't come. But she knew he would. Knew him well enough to know he'd walk into hell itself if it meant getting her back. And this was exactly that. Hell. Movement to her left. Mchu emerged from behind a container. He looked worse than she'd ever seen him. Eyes sunken, face gaunt. Something completely shattered in his expression. The gentle mask was gone. What remained was raw, bleeding, broken. Hi, he said softly, walking toward her. Eleanor's heart hammered. Mchu. They're making the exchange at sunset. He checked his watch. 40 minutes. Then this all ends. It doesn't have to end in violence. Yes, it does. He pulled a gun from his waistband. Because I've realized something over these 4 days. Watching you cry for him. Watching you refuse to eat. Watching you choose him even in captivity. Mchu. If I can't have you, his voice broke. If you can't love me the way I love you, then you don't get to love anyone. Not him. Not anyone. The gun hung loose at his side. But the threat was clear. You're going to kill me. Not a question. A realization. I'm going to free you. His smile was sad. Broken. Free you from him. From this world. From the choice you keep making wrong. And then what? You think killing me will make you feel better? No. Tears streamed down his face. But at least you won't be his. At least I won't have to watch you love someone else. At least the pain will stop. For me or for you? He didn't answer. Kang Dae-young approached, irritation clear. Put the gun away. We need her alive for the exchange. No. Mchu raised the weapon, pointing it at Dae-young. You promised me. You said I could have her. After we get the territories. I don't care about territories. Minchu's hand shook violently. I care about her. And if I can't have her, if Tae-ho takes her away again, then you'll deal with it after we're done. No. Mchu swung the gun toward Eleanora. She dies. Before he gets here. Before she can choose him one more time. Eleanora stared down the barrel, surprisingly calm. Is this how it ends? Before Tae-ho even arrives? Do it then, she said quietly. If killing me is the only way to end your pain, do it. Minchu's finger moved to the trigger. But know this. Her voice was steady, clear. I would never have chosen you. Not because you weren't good enough. Not because of Tae-ho. But because love built on manipulation and obsession isn't love. It's poison. And I'd rather die than drink poison for the rest of my life. The words hit him like bullets. His hand dropped slightly. I tried, he whispered. I tried so hard to be good enough. To be worth staying for. You were always enough, Mchu. That was never the problem. Eleanora's eyes glistened. The problem was you never believed it. So you tried to force people to prove it. To control them into staying. But that's not love. That's fear. I'm so scared, he breathed. Scared of being alone. Scared of being left. Scared of... I know. And she did. She understood now. The abandonment, the desperation, the obsession born from a child who watched his mother walk away and spent his whole life trying to make sure it never happened again. It didn't excuse what he'd done. But it explained it. Mchu, Kang Dae-young warned. Lower the weapon. Now. But Mchu wasn't listening anymore. He stood frozen. Gun half raised. Tears streaming. Caught between the desperate need to possess and the terrible knowledge that possession wasn't love. In the distance, engines rumbled. Vehicles approaching. They're here. One of the Jade Serpent members called out. Dae-young's face hardened. Everyone in position. Remember the plan. His men scattered, taking up their posts. Mchu remained standing in front of Eleonora, gun still in hand, eyes locked on hers. Please, she said softly. Don't do this. Don't let this be how your story ends. My story ended when my mother left. His voice was empty now. Everything after has just been pretending, wearing masks, playing roles. But I'm tired, Eleonora. So tired of pretending. The vehicles grew closer. 3 black SUVs pulling into the shipyard, dust rising in their wake. Eleonora's heart leaped. Teho. The vehicles stopped. Doors opened. And there he was. Even from this distance, even in the fading light, she'd recognize him anywhere. The way he moved, purposeful, lethal, coiled power barely contained. His men flanked him, 20 at least, all armed. But Teho only had eyes for her. Eleonora! His voice carried across the shipyard. Teho! She screamed back. It's a trap. Get out of here. Kang De-young stepped forward, blocking her view. Lee Teho, welcome. We've been expecting you. Teho approached slowly, hands visible, no weapon drawn yet. Where is she? I want to see her. She's right here, alive, unharmed. De-young gestured, and his men parted, revealing Eleonora on the pier. Their eyes met across 50 feet of space. She saw his face change. Relief, rage, love, fear, all crashing together in a moment of raw vulnerability. You brought the documents? De-young asked. Teho pulled papers from his jacket. Everything you asked for. Territory deeds, business transfers, all signed, all legal. My empire, his voice cracked. For her life. Smart man. De-young reached for the papers. After I see her. After I confirm she's okay. Teho's voice went steel. Then you get everything. Tense moment. Then De-young nodded. Fine. Come forward. Slowly. Teho moved toward the pier, each step measured. His eyes never left Eleonora's. When he was 10 feet away, close enough to see the exhaustion on her face, the bruises on her wrists, the toll 4 days had taken. Something in him shattered and rebuilt simultaneously. Are you hurt? His voice was gentle despite the violence brewing in his eyes. I'm okay. Her voice broke. You shouldn't have come. You shouldn't have given them everything. You are everything. Simple. Absolute. The empire was just buildings and money. His throat worked. You're the only thing that matters. Touching. De-young interrupted. Really? But let's finish this. Papers first. Teho held out the documents. De-young reached for them. And in that moment Mchu moved. He grabbed Eleonora from behind, arm around her throat, gun pressed to her temple. No! His scream was anguished. You don't get her. You don't get to win. Everything froze. Teho's hand moved toward his concealed weapon. Don't, Mchu warned. Don't move or I paint the pier with her brains. Mchu, Teho said carefully. Let her go. This is between you and me. Everything is between you and me. Minchu's arm tightened. You took her from me. You poisoned her against me. This is your fault. I know you're hurting. You know nothing. Spit flew from Minchu's mouth. You don't know what it's like to love someone so much it destroys you. To need someone so desperately you can't breathe without them. You're right. I don't know that. Teho's eyes flicked to Eleonora's terrified face. Because that's not love. That's sickness. And I won't let your sickness kill her. Then shoot me. Mchu pressed the gun harder against Eleonora's temple. Go ahead. But the second you pull that trigger, so do I. We both die. At least then she's not yours. Mchu, please. Eleonora gasped. Don't. I loved you. He whispered in her ear. I really, truly loved you. Why wasn't that enough? Teho's hand moved fractionally toward his weapon. 20 guns immediately trained on him. Easy, De-young said. Let's all stay calm. But calm had left the building. Mchu was crying openly now, gun shaking against Eleonora's head. Teho stood locked in place, every muscle screaming to move but knowing any movement meant her death. And Eleonora, caught between obsession and love, between the boy who couldn't let go and the man who'd give up everything to save her. closed her eyes. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry, Mchu. I'm sorry you're in pain. I'm sorry I couldn't be what you needed. I'm sorry for all of it. Sorry isn't enough, he breathed. The sun touched the horizon. Golden light painted everything, the shipyard, the ocean, the three of them locked in this terrible moment. And Minchu's finger moved to the trigger. If I can't have you, he whispered, nobody can. To be continued in episode 4. Will Eleonora survive Minchu's final breakdown? Can Taeho save her before it's too late? And what happens when obsession meets its inevitable, bloody end? Episode 4 drops soon. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rescue, the aftermath, and the devastating consequences of love gone wrong. Comment below. Do you think Mchu can still be saved? Will Eleonora ever recover from this? And what should happen to Mincio for her role in all this? Don't miss a single moment.